Hey Scorpio, how you doing? Welcome, 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 welcome to the Crow Tarot. We are going to be doing your first half of May general reading here. We're going to start off with some animal energy, just like I like it, and then we'll go right into the tarot. So, let's see what y'all's animal energy is. First half of May. What is the animal energy for Scorpio for first half of May? Please and thank you. Oh, really? Oh, really? The crow? I mean, what could be a better start? So the crow here. So first of all, when the crow appears, makes itself known, first of all, you know it, because the crow is not a subtle energy, okay? Crows usually show up right in front of your face with that loud caw-caw business, right? It's not subtle. It's usually not something you have to look for. It's just like, bam, in your face. Very boisterous energy, which is honestly a large reason of why I like and identify with the crow energy. So what this means is you could be seeing a lot of signs and synchronicities right now going into May. I mean, on overload, where you're like, whoa, what's going on, right? This is magic, right? But the crow also comes in to alert us when something is imbalanced, or if there's justice that needs to be brought into completion or realization. This is a call for justice and balance. It's a wake-up call, basically. But when the crow is also about speaking your truth, even when and especially when it's difficult to do so. Very much about using your words, really speaking the truth of things. And guess what? If you're seeing a lot of crows around you and you know that there's something that it's been stuck in your craw, whether it's an injustice of some kind or something in your personal life where you're like, you know what, I don't have the balance thing going on so well right now with the mind, body, spirit. This is a call, an awakening, a note to do so. And then if you see it and recognize it and then kind of push it off to later, then the crows will really come a-cawing and it'll really be like huge up in your face. Okay, crows aren't really known for taking no for an answer, energetically speaking, but magic is around you when the crow shows up. I absolutely love it. All right, let's get some tarot from the Scorpios. Let's see what's going on. All right, let's do it. What's going on for my Scorpios for first half of May? Please and thank you. All right. We got 5 of Wands here. So this is effort, right? It can be a struggle too. And what's cool about the 5 of Wands is this can be an internal struggle, effort, fighting with oneself, competing with oneself, right? Maybe knowing what steps need to be taken, but like, I don't know how, or I don't know when. I just heard I don't know when, right? It feels like timing is very important for you guys right now. This can also be an external influence where you know what needs to be done. You may know what changes need to be made, or a truth that you may need to speak, but it's the external given circumstances don't seem like they're lining up in a way that it's conducive for you to do so, okay? Let's get some more. And remember, 5 card is a number of change, and the crow is very much about change, okay? When the crow comes up, get ready. What else is going on for my Scorpios? The first half of May. First half of May. Whoa. Okay. All right, cool. Okay. So we got the 4 of Cups, repping your water sign selves here, 4 of Cups. So this can denote a couple of different things, but I'm going to tell you what this really feels like in conjunction with the crow coming. See how they're kind of looking at each other, these 2 crows? It's like, yeah, you know what it is. The 4 of Cups can represent, and I feel like it does in this context, of something that happens out of nowhere and quickly. Now, if there is something that you've been thinking about doing, whether it is, really achieving that mind, body, spirit balance, whatever this is, speaking a truth of some sort, making some needed change that you feel needs to be made in your soul, but you're not exactly sure that the timing or the way to really make that happen. sometimes a opportunity to do so will literally fall right in your lap. And I really feel like this is what the Four of Cups is saying here. But it could be because it is the Four of Cups. Sometimes this can be like, oh, well, I've really been waiting for a sign, or I've really been waiting for an opportunity for something to shift. I'm getting a feeling of like, okay, here's what I'm getting. Do you know, like, when you are speaking to someone who can be rather long-winded in nature, and they barely take a pause, like an inhalation of breath so that you can get a word in, and it just keeps going and going and going, and you're waiting for that one moment where they will take a breath or have a sip of coffee so that you can freaking respond. That's kind of what this feels like. It's like, listen, I don't know the timing, I don't know the right way, but I literally have to get this out, and the minute that they reach for that cup of coffee, I'm gonna like literally come in here and say what I need to say. It may not come out in the way with which I planned it in my mind, and it just kind of comes out like blah, 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 blah. And there's a relief in that, but there could be some feelings of like, oh, that isn't exactly how I wanted it to go down, aka the Four of Cups. Kind of seeing this opportunity from the universe to speak your truth or to implement a change or make plans. And it's like, oh, this isn't exactly how I imagined it in my head, but you know what? The desired result is still there, even though it may not look exactly how I wanted it to. So I'm going to seize the opportunity and go for it. Because then we have the World, which is a completion of a cycle. This is graduation day. This is moving from one point to another. And I was getting this in your meditation too, where I kept hearing, I've been sorted, which is kind of, I think it's a British term actually. But you know in Harry Potter, where they have the sorting hat ceremony, and in order for you to like join your house, right, you have to sit under the sorting hat and go into your particular house, Gryffindor, Slytherin, whatever. I was getting that very much in your meditation, where you're going into a time here where you're about to get sorted, right, onto a new path. New direction. This very much feels like new. It feels like, okay, let's get some of this old stuff kind of packed away nice and neat, right? You want to put those Christmas decorations back in an orderly way. I don't know why this is coming to me. In an orderly way, you want to wrap those string lights because you don't want next year when you have to go back into them to be a hot freaking mess. And that's kind of what this feels like. The way that you wrap this up, these old energies, or achieve this balance, is going to serve you in the future. And you're also going to feel a lot better moving forward if you wrap up these energies, or what needs to be spoken, or an action that needs to be made. You're going to feel a lot better about it if you do it in a way that is aligned with your integrity. Okay, so sometimes the universe will really come in and present you that opportunity out of nowhere, right? And then it's really up to you whether or not you take that boon and act on it. So you can get sorted into your proper house and go into a new chapter, because it very much feels like closing out one cycle so that you can enter into another one. But I'm telling you, this crow, listen, it's not going to be a walk in the park necessarily, but the relief that comes, listen, I'm getting finals week. When is finals week ever like a walk in the park? But it's really what comes after that, about that point of completion, regardless of how you did on them necessarily. It's like, well, it still feels good. But if you know you put the hard work in, did the best you could on those finals, this graduation point's going to feel even better. You're just going to be like, wow, there's a relief that comes with the point of completion, but also knowing that you tied up those loose ends in a way that is both permanent and in alignment with your personal integrity, okay? Let's get some clarifiers here. A lot going on for my Scorps. Let's get a clarifier for this Five of Wands here. Five of Wands, please and thank you. Whoa. Whoa. Okay, this is brilliant. Okay. So we have the Three of Wands here to clarify the Five of Wands. Remember how I keep talking about getting sorted and getting into the next chapter, really getting your footing so that you can go off in this new direction? That's exactly what Three of Wands is. Two of Wands is knowing that a change needs to be made, but kind of taking time to get that map together and go, okay, what point from A to B is going to get me to my desired destination in as short a time as possible, right? And Three of Wands is like, okay, I can actually make moves because I've got the map sorted. Then Four of Wands is like, I made it, I feel so good, yes, right? So Three of Wands with the, yes, right? This is not necessarily going to be something that's like poof, right? But it is going to take some effort, but it's going to lead you into this new place where it just feels so fresh and so clean. It really, 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 really does. It really feels like it's going to lead you into a marker, into a chapter that's a part of your soul plan that you're just like, oh my gosh, it feels so right. It was a bit of a time getting there, right? But now I'm here and I'm not looking back. And I keep hearing that too, not looking back, because then you've got the Hierophant. Yes. Hierophant, to clarify the Four of Cups. What this is saying to me in this context is that whatever decision that you make, whether you're speaking your truth, taking an action around something, really getting to that balance, identifying aspects of yourself where there could be an imbalance, and really making steps to right that, you're going to make the right choice. That's what the Hierophant is saying to me in this context. Never fear. As long as you make a choice that's coming from your intuition and not a place of fear or lack mentality, it's going to be the right move. The universe is presenting this opportunity for you to do so, and guess what? You're not going to miss it. It's going to be, why aren't you going to miss it? It's going to be up in your face. Look at these two, look at all this crow action here. It's going to be up in your face, and it's really going to be up to you if you're going to rise and meet it. I want you to think, we're just going to go back to this, analogy because it just was on my mind. But imagine if Harry Potter had gotten to the sorting ceremony and he was like, you know what? I'm not really ready. I'm going to go back home with my muggle aunt and uncle, and maybe I'll try again next year. Look at how much destiny he will have missed out on. No, he was scared that he was going to be placed in Slytherin. He asked for, Gryffindor, and he got it. And this really feels pertinent for you guys. It really, 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 really does. You are going to make the right decision because it's coming from a place of intuition and what is best for you. I keep hearing that. If you have been making decisions or having others on your mind about let me look at what I'm going to do because I need to think about what's best for them or the people involved, this is a time to do you. Crows, right? For the most part, they fly solo. They're solo energy for the most part. Sometimes you'll see a murder of them, but for the most part, and for me especially, they are solo energy. And guess what else they are? They're masculine energy for me. And so what that basically means is a masculine energy is forward movement, taking action, getting stuff done. Whereas, feminine energy is being open to receive and digest and all of that good stuff, right? You are definitely being called into a masculine energy right now where it is a time to take action, to close out a certain chapter of your life, to move into the freshness. Let's get a clarifier on this world card, on this graduation, Okay. You guys keep getting 2 every time I draw. It's very fascinating. Now, this is interesting. I feel like every Scorpio reading is really interesting, though. So we've got the 2 of Pentacles here, which is a juggling act. And yes. Moving from one energy into a new one, making these changes, speaking your truth, going for it, being active. Yes, it can very much be a juggling act. Okay, but it feels like a productive one. You also, when you make a decision, it does help to really, weigh your options as well, to really discern, to take the time to discern which one is in best alignment with where your intuition is at. This could be you juggling your head and your intuition. That's what this feels like, because look, we've got a few major arcanas here on the board. We've got the devil energy, which is about all things 3D. For me also, this is basically the opposite of your intuition, right? If the high priestess is connecting with your intuition, this is the opposite of that, because again, this represents everything in the 3D, right? Everything you can see, feel, touch, experience, take in, digest, ingest, right? And the fact that it is coming up here so freaking beautifully, with the World card and the 2 of Pentacles, I do feel like you guys are going to be juggling, right? Your intuition with your head and your logical side. And the crow is all about intuition. So you're definitely being guided here to make your choices and your new direction and setting your new course and getting sorted from a place of intuition, because guess what? When we do that, we never... You hear that car honk? When we do that, we don't regret our choices. Have you ever made a choice, like a big decision, you made it from your head and you ignored your intuition? You cannot tell me that you did not have some sort of regret over that, right? But when you make a choice from a place of intuition, even if it might displease the people around you, because I'm getting that here too, Hierophant too, it may displease some people around you, right? But you're never going to regret it because it came from your intuition, right? Are you here to walk your path, or to, you know, kind of kowtow to the needs, wants, and paths of others, or even paths that others have in mind for you. I'm hearing Go Your Own Way by Fleetwood Mac, right? It's very much, you are at a pivotal point of change. You're gonna go one way or the other. And again, if you really make that choice based on your intuition, you will not go wrong. Let's get an oracle for you guys. Let's get an oracle. I mean, lotus flower unfoldment. I'm going to tell you why this is so beautiful with this. So, the lotus flower, it comes from the muck and the dirt and the excrement and all of that stuff that lives in a still lake, right? It's just like, it's like, ooh, may even have a little bit of stank on it, because water that's still, you know, it can be smelly. But then it comes up and emerges this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful flower here on top of the muck and dirt. I feel like this is a beautiful parallel to everything that we've been talking about here. From this Five of Wands on the Three of Wands, right? Making a change towards the new. You really may have to grab an opportunity that's presented to you, even though it may not look exactly like how you wanted it, or you're wondering about the timing of it. Sometimes when we shuffle our feet a lot about something, and we're like, oh, should I do it now? Should I do it this way? The universe will come in as the great rearranger that it is and make it freaking happen, Four of Cups style, to really get you pushing. Yeah, I don't want to say pushed, but a loving little nudge onto your next path and next best chapter, right? And yeah, there's going to be some, I really feel like this is a juggle of the mind and the intuition, right? But you're going to come out of it completing a cycle that is no longer necessarily serving you anymore, right? Or at least in some ways it hasn't been serving you, right? This is beautiful, you guys, and I really feel like if you come from a place of intuition, you are going to be the lotus flower coming up from all of this kind of like energy, right? Into this beautiful blossom, sitting on top, living your best life, looking so fabulous, and, you know, unfoldment indeed. I'm also getting one last note for you guys that I'm hearing for some of you guys. You know, Scorpios are very psychic. They are. I mean, water signs in general, but Scorpios are just a little, I mean, extra psychic. And I do feel like for a good group of you guys, I think that, you know, when you have psychic tendencies, or you have I think everyone's psychic, but I think Scorpios just have a little bit more of it, okay? No shade to the other signs, but I feel like they really, really do. And sometimes when you're getting this psychic information, whether you're an empath or a clairvoyant, or you just get feelings about things, or you're, you know, as an empath, you may be a human lie detector. When you know someone is not giving you the whole truth and nothing but the truth, right? When you're living with those energies, I feel like you're coming into a place where instead of just like letting them happen to you, you are learning to work in tandem with them. The crow very much represents that as well, to let them work for you. That's why we have intuition, so that it can help us, so we can benefit from it, okay? And I just got chills. That makes sense too. Because again, like I said, the feminine energy is being in a place of receiving these intuitive downloads. And then you're being called to step into a masculine energy here and start to really work with these innate abilities that you have, so that you can actually be a co-creator with it, right? Two of Pentacles. It's like, wait a minute. Let's work together on this, right? It's not just something you notice, like, oh, I kind of know when things are going to happen before they do. I kind of know when someone's going to call me before they do. Wait a minute. Instead of just noticing that this is happening to me, what can I do to be a co-creator in this and really let it work for me in a larger, more realized way? Especially in terms if you have a goal of creating a mind, body, spirit balance, right? But this is beautiful, Scorpios. I mean, this is gorge. There's some huge changes that are going to be going on here for you. But I really feel like at the end of the day, oh my God, I'm like stuttering over my words right now. Is there something that needs to be spoken? I'm telling you, whenever I'm sitting, a personal note that applies to you guys, whenever there is something that needs to be said, but I have not said it, because it's difficult, or I want to put it off, or whatever have you, or I'm worried about the other person's reaction, or I just don't want to deal with the drama, whatever that is, the crow will be up in my face to the point where it is almost just like overwhelming, right? So the fact that I'm stuttering, and I'm not really a stutterer, There really may need to be some boundaries that need to be set, some truths that need to be spoken so that you can go on and graduate from this cycle and go skipping off into the new one, right? And pretty soon you'll be sitting down at that Hogwarts style banquet with, all the goods. Okay, you guys? All right, my lovely Scorpios, this was your first half of May general reading. I so hope that this was of help to you and resonated with you. I want to thank y'all so much for being here. I want to thank y'all so much for watching. But most of all, as always, thank you for being you, and be well. Until next time.